That's a great question. It was really interesting. Back in 2005, we went out and we did some third-party market research on what the job market was going to be like over the coming years. And I remember presenting this information to a group of coaches at one of our conferences, and it talked about the pink slips, and it talked about the gaps in employment, and it talked about the instability of the stock market and all of these things that were going to be happening in the job market. And it was this perfect storm that was coming, and it was on the horizon, and it was here. And I remember people coming to me after that, after we presented the research, and they said, "Wow, Susan, that's terrible. I could never tell somebody that this is the kind of thing that's going to be happening in the job market." We talked about the executive level folks who were now going to be making substantially less than they ever had in their entire careers, and really having to leverage resources that they were typically saving for retirement simply to survive. They're like, "Wow, that sounds really awful. I can't tell somebody that." Well, now we fast forward into 2013. And not only did all of these things happen that the research really indicated that we were trending towards, but it actually was far worse than we had ever imagined. As a matter of fact, we don't even call it the new career economy anymore. We actually call it the battered career syndrome. Because those folks who have really stuck it out in the job market and has said, "Gosh, I'm going to really recreate myself, and I'm going to get that job back that I've either lost, or my company was downsized or right-sized or left-sized or whatever was happening in that job market," the ones that were actually lucky enough to get back into the market, they came with no security, so that the turnover rate is much higher than we've ever seen. And now these folks have been through 2, 3, 4 jobs. They've been out of work for 6 months or longer. It becomes harder and harder for them to find that opportunity. They then go into an age class where folks that are coming out of college are coming in at much lower rates with a higher education level, so they can't be competitive in that marketplace anymore, and they're beat up and they're battered and they're ready for a change. They're really ready to start to take control of something that they can really take control of, versus having somebody else dictate to them what's going to happen to them, because it's very unpredictable. So the new career economy has really been a progression over several years, and we've really seen not just a change in what the job market is, but how people are reacting to that. People are really starting to step up and take control of their destiny. They're looking for ways to become self-sufficient and not have to be dependent on the job market anymore. Well, most people at some point in their career have either had an idea or a desire to do something on their own. They see the potential, they've made a lot of money for other people, and they're really looking at where that's gotten them, which is either another pink slip or another time where they're looking for the next opportunity. So at one point, somebody will reach a level of pain, and they'll say, "Wow, you know what? I can do this. I have been successful in my career. I am ready to take control, and I'm ready to do this on my own, but I just don't know how to get started. Where do I go? Do I do this on my own? Do I open up a startup business that's independent? Do I go into franchising? What would be good for me?" And when somebody starts to take control, it's really just those first steps of really learning about what those possibilities would look like. It's about educating themselves so that the next step that they take is really the right choice for them and their family. And simply by starting that investigation process, that's the first step to taking control of your future.